a baby die here? Is that you?
Amy. That's weird. It says your people's names that's here out here. That's weird. I do not understand that. You want to talk to Amy? I didn't make it out.
Okay.
What did it say?
It sounded like it was the devil.
That's not what you want to hear. No.
There's a legend that states that there's a baby that was killed here. Is that true? Can you tell us your name? Can you tell us what happened? What was that?
And Harold, it acts up occasionally, but he's never hurt anyone in 42 years. But it scared the piss out of me.
Unexpected things happen and scary.
I have asked, one of the things that we do when we have a new hire, bartender, wait, doesn't make any difference, cook, janitor, stuff's going to happen. Now, I'm not going to explain it because I don't know. Stuff will happen, stuff will happen, stuff will happen, stuff will happen.
We choose to return to Chillicothe because of the results we are able to replicate each year without fail. It is very rare that one area will produce similar results concerning EVP and ITC research. After 2.5 years of Spirit Box research, I have become disenchanted with the results yielded from the device due to its inability to produce intelligent communication with disembodied entities. With that being said, there are several locations in Ross County that seem to produce results that I cannot debunk or explain by natural means. The legend of Elizabeth's grave draws us back year after year by providing us with replies that seem impossible. It tells us how many fingers we hold up with uncanny precision. It tells us how many people are present. It answers our questions without hesitation. This year it speaks our names once again with other disturbing replies. It seems highly unlikely that what we are hearing come across the device is merely random radio snippets strangely coinciding with our questions. To further prove the validity of our results, we revisit a local legend in a train tunnel that completely shields all radio stations from coming through. Despite this reality, we still receive eerie and intelligent responses that pertain to the legend. The tunnel also points to the possibility that there may be a way to speak to other spirits that may be trying to communicate that do not pertain to the tunnel. Loved ones that have passed seem to come through there. This may seem perplexing, but we have stacking evidence that supports the hypothesis that some places in Ross County may link the world of the dead with the world of the living. Our EVP research remains to be a staple in our paranormal work, but the ITC research concerning the spirit box needs to continue in this area. We strive to explain paranormal phenomena using the device in ways that can either prove or disprove that it works. We have found that the problem may not lie with the box, but may deal with how it is used and in the area in which it is used. Our quest continues. Before we dive into the research and investigation at Elizabeth's Grave and Crybaby Tunnel, I will provide you with some upgraded history of the area that has not been presented in earlier films. I will also disclose another location we are planning on investigating in the future. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the documentary. When my historical research of Chillicothe began almost 3 years ago, one of the first locations to pique my interest was Mound City, more formally known as Hopewell Culture National Historical Park. Presently, a tourist will find a museum and gift shop at the entrance of a beautifully manicured pasture of earthen mounds built by ancient Native American Indians whose name is unknown. The Hopewell tradition, also called Hopewell culture, describes the common aspects of the Native American culture that flourished along the rivers in the northeastern and midwestern United States from 200 BCE to 500 CE. The Hopewell tradition was not a single culture or society, but a widely dispersed set of related populations. They were connected by a common network of trade routes known as Hopewell Exchange System. The name Hopewell was applied by Warren K. Moorhead after his explorations of the Hopewell Mound Group in Ross County, Ohio in 1891 and 1892. The Mound Group itself was named for the family that owned the earthworks at the time. It is unknown what any of the various groups now defined as Hopewellians called themselves. Around 500 CE, the Hopewell Exchange ceased, mound building stopped, and the art forms were no longer produced. War is a possible cause, as villages dating to the late woodland period shifted to large communities. They built defensive fortifications of palisade walls and ditches. Colder climate conditions could have also driven game animals north or west, as weather would have a detrimental effect on plant life, drastically cutting the subsistence base for the foods. The introduction of the bow and arrow, by improving hunts, may have caused stress on already depleting food populations. The breakdown in societal organization can also have been the result of the full-scale agriculture. Scholars Dunnell and Greenlee suggest an idea of waste behavior. They argue that energy was diverted from biological reproduction during a period when climate irregularities favored small families. A climate became predictable from year to year. Energy was turned from waste behavior to food production. Conclusive reasons for the evident dispersal of the people have not yet been determined. Much more knowledge is needed. It is widely believed that this intriguing history lays the groundwork for spiritual happenings in the area. There is no reason to believe that this land is still not sacred and not inhabited by the spirits and ancestors of the Hopewell culture. There are rumors that the mound site is haunted, but there is no evidence to back that up. Could the mounds contribute to the paranormal activity in Chillicothe? We'll let you decide. Another possible contributing factor to the haunted claims in Chillicothe can be found in the history surrounding Grandview Cemetery. Grandview was established around 1841. The ground the cemetery stands on looks down upon the valleys of the Scioto River and Paint Creek, with a panoramic view of the city of Chillicothe. The land for Grandview was purchased outside the city limits of Chillicothe in order to provide a more restful setting for the new cemetery. One of the burial grounds replaced later became the site of the B&O Railroad Depot. Grandview Cemetery was added to the National Register of Historical Places in 1978. Many graves were relocated from the old cemetery to Grandview. Thomas Worthington, the 6th governor of Ohio, was relocated from his mansion home in 1827 to Grandview, as well as many others. This may have something to do with why people experience apparitions of mists and shadows at the cemetery, but no concrete evidence exists to my knowledge. With that being said, the relocation of the burials in the city is certainly a recipe for a haunting. In this film, I want to introduce a very well-known haunting that involves an Irish pub known as the Keys Tavern on East Main Street in Chillicothe. The paranormal phenomena that occurs in this bar mirrors many other bars throughout the world, known for its unusual poltergeist activity. I could ramble on about the history and the claims in this narration, but it is much more interesting to hear the story from Tom Burke, who is a part owner of the pub, which he inherited from his father. He has been part of the history of the Keys Tavern for decades, and we stopped by there to see if we could get any information concerning the spirit they call Harold. Tom was nice enough to speak to us about the phenomena.
Down 23.
I understand you people are of the ghost persuasion.
That's right. My name's Justin. How are you?
My name's Tom Burke, and I've been working here for a long time. What can I do for you?
Well, we research paranormal stuff. We do historical exploration. Me and my wife have come down here for, this is our third year. We go around to all kinds of places. We do stuff on our YouTube channel. We do blogs. We're interested in all that type of stuff. So this is our first chance we actually got to come in here. I know you guys actually are open about the Harold entity, or you name a ghost like Harold in this bar. And I've read some things. And
Yeah, oh my God. What'd you do?
We name whatever it is, Harold.
you don't know what it is.
Not that smart. I'm not.
Have you ever had it been interested in having it investigated or looked into?
Oh, we've had people in here spend the night. Yeah. And that's all right. They all have their different kinds of devices and things that they do. And they all say, well, it was the most rewarding experience.
Cool. Do you still allow that to go on? Or?
Under certain conditions.
Okay.
Bonded.
What's that?
You must be bonded.
Bonded, okay.
That way, if there's anything untoward that occurs, whether you cause it or not, you're covered.
Yeah.
More importantly, to me, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a liability.
We're covered. Yeah, there certainly is. And Harold, it acts up occasionally, but it's never hurt anyone in 42 years. But it scared the piss out of me. Great.
Unexpected things happen and scary.
I have asked, one of the things that we do when we have a new hire, bartender, wait, doesn't make any difference, cook, janitor, stuff's going to happen. Now, I'm not going to explain it because I don't know. Stuff will happen. It will be inexplicable, unexplainable. But it probably won't hurt you, so don't panic. If stuff moves across the room, it ain't going to crush you. Just leave it alone.
Like what kind of stuff happened? Like what kind of stuff
the most obvious we've had, we had a daytime waitress who did the usual, yeah, right, sure, you're trying to scare me. Really. And one afternoon, and this virtually the only thing that was really destructive, she was in here and a glass came off at a wine rack, smashed itself against the wall. And she did the mantra, which is Harold, cut that shit out. Which it did. Whatever. We've had it move stuff around. Just
stuff coming up missing?
turning off. No. What happens is lights get turned off without the switch being turned off. Yeah. And if you're in the basement, there are no windows in the basement. That's when we first encountered 1973 in the summer. My friend, rest his soul, Bill Rivers, stuttered terribly. And I were down there trying to repair an electrical circuit. We were down there doing our stuff, and all of a sudden, a lights go out. Well, neither of us had any idea that the lights were going to cross. We didn't have it. Crawled upstairs, and the light had been turned off. Well, okay, so you got a prankster. Except that we had the only 2 keys to the place, and all the doors were locked from the inside. Turn the light switch on, stop by the toolkit, pick up a flashlight, pick up 2 flashlights, back downstairs, back in there, digging and hammering, and the lights go out again. All of upstairs, the light switch is still on. I leaned down to Bill. I said, "Hey, Bill, are the lights still out?" Bill said, "Yep." So, whereupon the lights came on. Went back down with the flashlight. The lights go out, and Bill just reared up and said, "Harold, cut that shit out. Whereupon the lights come on." I said, "Bill, where'd you come up with Harold?" He said, "Seemed like a good idea at the time." So it's been Harold ever since.
So it definitely has the impression it has intelligence.
I don't know. I mean, I'm dealing with something I can't see. Now, I had one I hired on Amazon. Big girl named Marsha Holmes. Good looking, very big girl. Athletic, the whole thing. And I gave her the drill. I said, "Now, this is what she, yeah, right. You're doing the guy thing, aren't you? Trying to scare the frail little woman." I said, "Marsha, I'm 5'11" and a half, and you're taller than I am. I'm not trying to scare the frail little woman, asshole." I said, well, she obviously was unimpressed. Well, okay, fine, I'm doing it. About a month later, maybe, I said, "Marsh, we're out of napkins. Can you?" She said, "Where are they?" I said, "They're in the basement on the first floor." She said, "Nope." I said, "Nope, me. You can fire me. I don't care. I'm not going in the basement." I said, "Wait a minute." She said, "Don't go there." I said, "I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there all over your jive ass." I'm trying to bullshit the little bitty frail female, and you're laughing at me, and now you won't. She said, "Look, I was down there, and there's something." I said, "Well, yeah, kind of, but it's not." No. I mean, she was scared to death. And the guy, whatever it is, didn't do anything to him. I said, "For somebody as big as you are, you're a real wuss." I said, "You want to step outside?" My son came to work. "Okay, yeah, right, sure, same thing." Only he said, "Man, I didn't believe you, but it's there." And that's it. That's personal testimonies. I'm not trying to sell books.
Right.
I personally couldn't give a damn less whether Harold is or is not. Except that if Harold ain't, then something has been doing some weird shit in this place for over 40 years. And there you go.
So this place was always a bar, this structure? What was it before?
When it opened, it was according to, and the records are kind of spotty because it was built somewhere around 1867, 1868. And it was a slaughterhouse / butcher shop. And then it goes vague because there were a lot of fires in the city in between like 1830 and 1880. And in 19 Depression. It was bought by a guy named Jim Shine, who had a sandwich shop next door, and he had this idea about a really cool restaurant with an open-air kitchen that was in the back then. And really, you know, for a Depression joint, this guy had obviously been stealing big time. I mean, he's had a lot of money. And it worked out from 1933 until 1939. In 1939, he retired, kept the building, leased it to an outfit out of Columbus called Stone's Grills. They were a bar and grill operation back in the 30s. They kept it until they were bought out by an outfit out of Kalamazoo or Jackson, Michigan, can't remember which, called Sun's Bar and Grill. And they had 117 bars between Jackson, Michigan and Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And it stayed Sun's until the mid-50s when a disaffected employee turned them into the IRS for stealing, which of course they were doing. But unfortunately for everybody concerned, they beat the charge, but it broke them. And the building drifted, was taken over by here and there and whatever. And it was empty when we got it in 1970, late 72. And we opened our operation in 1973.
History is very important in our research when investigating paranormal claims. Unfortunately, our nighttime investigation of our next location is strictly legend because we have not been able to find any documents to prove the legend actually took place. With that being said, thousands of people have flocked to the abandoned cemetery nestled in the middle of Pleasant Valley Wildlife Area in Ross County called Union Pleasant Valley Cemetery. There, hundreds of reports of paranormal shenanigans can be found on the forums, blogs, and YouTube videos concerning a haunting of a grieving widow named Elizabeth. The story tells that Elizabeth grieved for her husband's untimely death in the cemetery for weeks following his funeral. One version of the legend states that she hung herself from a tree next to a church in the back of the cemetery. Another version states that she was hung by people in the community because they were angered by her decision to sell the land she inherited after her husband's death. The land the church and the cemetery resided on was part of this inheritance, which would explain why people in the community may have been upset. There were many women with the name Elizabeth that have been buried at the cemetery, so the exact location of her grave is unknown. There are two graves that are speculated to be hers in the cemetery. There is a grave located in a pile of headstones in the back left section of the cemetery with the name Elizabeth P. Eagleson, who died June 4th, 1884. Another can be found on the opposite side of the cemetery with the name Elizabeth Augustus, which has no death date. There is a claim that if you find her headstone and place it near the front of the cemetery, it will be found next to the tree in the back where she allegedly hung herself. This is most likely the result of teenagers moving the headstone around because we have witnessed kids doing this during our investigations there. Needless to say, this legend is the perfect seed for a haunting. Reports of a lady in white is spotted in the cemetery. Shadow figures, cold spots, and disembodied voices are reported. We have not seen an apparition, but we have captured a fair share of disembodied voices on our audio equipment, and it is safe to say that Elizabeth is not the only spirit presence that can be found. There is a man that seems to have a dark objective trying to lure us back into the cemetery and telling us about the devil. On 2 different occasions, we have heard 3 loud banging noises come from the area where the pile of headstones are located. We don't know what may be causing it, but we do speculate that it may be mocking of the Trinity. There may be history of devil worshipping at the cemetery, although we cannot find any reports of this activity. We only mention this due to the responses we receive on our equipment. The cemetery was established in the churchyard of Union Presbyterian Church, which once stood near the right large tree in the rear of the cemetery. The church was organized on April 13, 1802, and the earliest known burial there was Joseph McCoy in 1811. Ultimately, it is up to you to decide if the legend is true. I urge any interested in this phenomena to go to the Elizabeth's grave to find out for themselves, if they dare.
EVP session, Elizabeth's grave, June 20th. Have no idea what time it is.
And it's getting close to 10. There's that sound again.
I heard something.
Is that what you heard last year?
Kinda.
Where's the sparklers coming from?
He said that sometimes they shoot fireworks.
Oh, I see. Lightning bugs. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Maybe it's like a car door or something over there.
This is completely surrounded by wildlife reserve, so it could be someone living back in here. Anyway, continue.
Okay. Elizabeth, are you here? Would you like to speak to us? We've got Robert and Amy and Justin here. You can speak to them if you like. So can you tell us if you were murdered or something happened to you?
Go ahead and review it.
Keep that recorder next to it, Christy. Gotta have your flashlight on, don't you? Are you taping with that camera?
Yes.
It doesn't look like you're filming a whole lot. You got that light on the camera and everything.
There, it's off now.
The camera? You can set that recorder down if you want, honey, if you don't want to. You're tired of holding it.
It's wet and your light was flash.
That's what I heard. Yeah, you want to talk to me? We would like to know if there's anybody here in spirit that would want to communicate. Storm. Yep, there was a storm today. Can you say my name again? Did it just say it?
Maybe.
It kind of sounded like it, like a woman. One more time. Can you tell me who I am? What's my name? Did it say Mike?
Amy.
That's weird.
It says your people's names that's here out here. That's weird. I do not understand that.
You want to talk to Amy?
What?
I didn't make it out.
Okay.
What did it say?
It sounded like to me it says the devil.
That's not what you want to hear.
No.
No. What was that? It was almost like something like that. Turn it up just a tad.
It's like I'm getting out of here.
If you'd like to speak to us, we're listening. We would like to talk to you. We want to learn about what happens out here. Elizabeth, are you here? Is there a spirit here with the name Elizabeth? What's that? If you're trying to speak, try to say something loud so we can understand. Is there a man here? I heard a man. Are you recording the spirit box?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure you're recording something. What's my name? Can you say my name again? We gotta try to get responses to help prove that the device works. Help me? How can we help you? Talk to us. Keep trying. What's the name of the cemetery? Was that Union? What's the rest of it? Union what? That's it. I don't know. We may turn this device off. Can you try to use it better than what you're doing? Can you show yourself? Anyone? Hey, go ahead and shut it off if you want, Robert. Hold down the power button on the bottom left.
Get me to stop the recorder.
No, keep it going. We're not going to do a whole lot of review out here.
Yeah, but we won't be able to hear it anyway. Freaking frogs.
I'd just rather spend our time actively investigating than reviewing. We can always do that on our own leisure. Thank you. I thought it was pretty easy to hear if there was anything coming across. I definitely heard my name. We heard Amy's name. Maybe some help me's in there.
What is the name of the
Union Pleasant Valley. That's the full name of it. Or Elizabeth's grave would have been cool to hear too. That would have been interesting.
Our next nighttime investigation we will present in this film is the Crybaby Tunnel legend located at a railroad tunnel on Schrader Road, east of Chillicothe in Ross County. Like Elizabeth's grave legend, there is no historical records confirming that any deaths took place at the tunnel. There are hundreds of Crybaby Bridge legends scattered all over rural America, and it is a legend that is deeply woven into the haunted lore. Many claim to know where the first Crybaby Bridge story originated from, but in reality no one knows for sure, and it would take serious research to solve that mystery. Meanwhile, we will give you the versions of this legend and the results from our EVP and ITC research at the tunnel. One version of the legend tells of a woman who put her baby on the tracks to get rid of it. Another version tells about a woman who was walking along the tracks with her child when a train unexpectedly met her on the bridge and she was forced to jump, resulting in both their deaths. Aside from the story, another legend states that a different woman was hung from a tree on the north side of the bridge with a waterbed mattress. Locals have been visiting this tunnel for years, and the time in which these events took place is unknown. People report if you stop your vehicle in the middle of the tunnel at midnight, turn off your engine and headlights, you will hear a baby cry. Consequently, your car is supposed to not start. This is a typical ritual that many teenagers test to scare their friends on a dark night for entertainment. But some who are brave enough park their cars and venture into the tunnel, and this is where things get weird. Reports of ghostly lights and disembodied voices are told. Reports state that they are ran out of the tunnel by a sinister voice telling them to get out. We return to this location to further our ITC research with the Spirit Box device because the tunnel provides perfect shielding from radio stations coming through. This is what we want so we can rule out radio broadcasts contaminating our results. Some of our very best Class A EVPs have come from this location as well. The north end where the woman is said to be hung yields some unfriendly voices of a male. We warn anyone who chooses to visit this tunnel to be careful due to the traffic in and out of the tunnel. There have been a dozen women found dead in and around Chillicothe area, and the police suspect a serial killer is responsible. This area would be a perfect place to dump a body. If you go, make sure to be accompanied by friends and have some form of protection with you. It is important to know that the living is much more terrifying than the dead.
You're like in constant fear, aren't you?
Who's me?
No,
Me.
Christy, she's like always got to have a flashlight scanning the woods.
It's freaking creepy out here.
Oh, shit.
Yes, it is.
Damn.
There's nothing like. I mean, this is like
No light.
worse than Moonville.
You think so?
Yes. Why do you think I was standing over there? Like, I'm
You
not
don't
going
like
over there.
you don't like your back to the tunnel?
No.
You think it is worse than Moonville because it's like
Yes.
smaller
Yes. It's creepier.
and way darker?
Yeah, it's way darker. You got it.
Do you not like tunnels? The first time I seen this, I'm like, it came around the
it's
bend.
kind of like tunnels, but this
I
one's a
hate
little
tunnels.
on the creepier side.
Yeah, it's creepy.
First time I made that bend, I'm like, I'm not going over there. No, I'm not going through that.
This is like this is the one where you expect to see the free hugs and the arrow leading into the...
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and hit record.
Spirit Box Session 1, Crybaby Tunnel. Is there a boy named Timmy out here that'd like to speak to us? There's absolutely nothing coming through this. It's completely shielded with this tunnel. And as you can see, it's sweeping. We would like to talk to you. Timmy? You guys be kind and speak to us this evening? Did a baby die here? Is that you? What? Amy, can you do me a favor? Try to put that mic right in front of your face. You say something, I want to make sure it's you. There's a legend that states that there's a baby that was killed here. Is that true? Can you tell us your name? Can you tell us what happened? What was that? Can you say that again? Now, why is all of a sudden this stuff coming across it now? Is it because I moved? Timmy, is that you?
Comes a train.
Yeah.
I think so.
You trying to talk to us? Can you please say something again? Is that better, Christy?
A little bit. Damn.
Is that a whistle? What's up with the whistling?
Comes a car.
Yeah, we'll step on this side. We'll be... I'm just gonna let it run. You got all staticky there for a second. I don't know what's up with that. We want to know if the legend of Crybaby Tunnel is true. Did a little child die here?
Car.
What the heck was that? Did it say yeah?
Sound like it.
There was nothing coming across it before. Did you say mom? I bet you that's them. From the cemetery. See what's up.
We would like to thank you for watching our third installment to our Forgotten Spirits documentary series. We would appreciate any feedback concerning the audio coming from our devices. We work very hard to present quality audio that can be very closely analyzed by miking all investigators and providing a full mix of all the audio sources available to rule out contamination. We invite you to watch the previous films regarding the legends of Ross County by checking out the links in the description of this video. We plan to revisit Ross County next year to continue our research and broaden our coverage of the haunted claims and urban legends. In time, we hope to uncover some mysteries and try to explain the paranormal phenomena that occurs throughout the area. Please subscribe to our channel to show your support for our research and to get notifications of our content. If you take away anything from this film, let it be known that not all legends are told to scare your friends. In some rare cases, the ghost stories told around campfires may be based off truth or a version of it. Keep your minds open, yet objective. You never know what may reveal itself to you in forgotten places and in the realm of darkness.